Time is running out for the Miller camp. The Mr. Pringle's crew and driver Scott Pierce helping them any way they possibly can. Some of the bracket arms to hold the skid fin in place if they can get it up there and get it screwed on in time. The other boats going out for Heat 3A, the Cellular One. Here's Todd Yarling of the Risley Audio Video, the home team, as they go out for their third preliminary race of the day. And the Miller American, they've got the skid fin in place. If they can get the bolts and the nuts tightened in time, they'll be able to race, and it looks like they're going to be able to make it. The Miller American being hoisted up and into the Ohio River, and a date with the Cellular One and the rest of the field. And that field is very interesting. The Budweiser with the Cellular One and the Miller American and the Risley, four of the better boats here in 1987. So here we go with the start of E3A. In lane number 2, it's the Cellular One, the Miller American wisely on the outside. Budweiser in lane number 1. Good position for the Budweiser and Cropfield as they go into the first turn. Again, Cellular One in first place. On the inside, though, the Budweiser on the outside. It looks like, oh no, Chip's got problems again for that skid fin as he goes way wide. In the meantime, rocking and a-rolling is the Cellular One with Steve Reynolds. He maintains good boat speed this time as he goes down the back chute. Where's the Budweiser? It's a rooster tail back as the Cellular One goes down the back chute. That's the best start yet for Reynolds. He's got a lot of air under the boat. Look out! The Cellular One is flipped. Steve Reynolds and the Cellular One has blown over on the back chute. Somehow the Budweiser was able to get by him and the patrol boats in the meantime. The race obviously has stopped. Flares have been shot out from the start-finish line tower. It appears that the boat is still floating. What is left of it, it appears it is right side up. The divers and the paramedics, the crowd obviously very concerned. The boat sitting right side up. The cockpit appears to be intact. Of course, this is an enclosed cockpit with an F-16 canopy on top to protect Steve Reynolds, the driver. At this stage, certainly no report on his condition. You see the helmet being taken off of Steve. That is it. One of the crew members of the Cellular One holding on to it. The boat is floating. Steve is being brought back in a rescue boat at this time to the ambulance. This is Steve Woomer, the owner of the Cellular One, being consoled by Bernie Little. But Steve is being brought back. Again, we do not know his condition, and he will be taken to a hospital immediately. We'll be right back. Reynolds and the Cellular One. Let's see if we can get an update on Steve's condition at this point. Dr. Swanson, what do you know about Steve's condition at this stage?
It's very serious. He was unconscious when we opened the capsule, and he's been unconscious the entire time, but he is breathing on his own, and his vital signs are relatively stable. At the present time, we can tell that he had a broken arm, but we can't really be sure of the rest of his injuries. But obviously, by being unconscious, it's serious.
And he's been taken to Indianapolis?
He's being taken by their air ambulance to Indianapolis Trauma Center.
Going down the backstretch, Steve Reynolds had a sizable lead over the Budweiser and Jim Cropfield. As you know, a brand new boat, still really not dialed in, but Reynolds was pushing. He wanted to win. And the competitiveness inside of him pushed him, and he pushed this boat. As you see, the right sponson goes up, and then that mass of air is caught under the boat, hurls it through the air, ripping off the left sponson, and then impact. The accident itself really goes beyond description, as Jim Cropfield barely avoids the accident. Right now we're with Jim Cropfield of the Miss Budweiser. Of course, Jim went through a flip back in May when the brand new Budweiser was testing. Jim, people at home always wonder what goes through the minds of drivers, obviously, when they see a good friend go over like that.
Well, the only thing I was concerned, first of all, I was concerned with when Steve went over. I saw him going, and I heard on the radio that Steve's going over, and then about that time he reached a peak, and the boat, I was on his inside, back about 200 feet, but as the boat reached its peak, it started falling over in front of me. And I didn't know where to go, so there was a patrol boat to my left. I could see up a couple hundred yards, but we were probably going 160, 170 mile an hour, and I just shot through the infield and circled around. I saw this boat crash down alongside me, and I came back in. But I thought he was upside down because the last time I saw the boat, it was upside down. And Lauren said it on the radio that he's right side up, and he said he thought he saw the canopy come open. So you just worry about whether he's hurt or not. You don't care about anything else. You're just kind of concerned. That's his second one. I went through one, so I know what's going through his mind. I don't know if he was conscious or not, but if he was, I know what it is.
Well, prayers for Mr. Reynolds right now. I guess that's the only thing we can say.
That's right. We just hope and pray that everything's fine and he comes back in fine shape.
And to make matters worse, the Weather Bureau has just informed us a major thunderstorm is heading our way. Racing is finished here in Madison for this year. We'll be back. Looming overhead, and by virtue of points, the Miss Budweiser has been awarded the Indiana Governor's Cup for 1987. Jim Kropfeld, the winner, and by points, Cellular One, number 2. Hi, Jim. Well, I guess you found out that you are the official winner now by points since the weather is not going to allow a final heat.
That's the way the rule book states that things are supposed to be done. We have rules, I guess, to back up problems that occur during the week, and that's what happened this weekend. And with the bad weather and Steve's accident and the Coast Guard are going to close the river, that reverts back to the point system. And luckily, we won both of our heats, and nobody else won 2 heats, so that puts us on top.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations, though, on your effort today. And you do get 3 in a row now here in 1987.
That's true, we do. I hate to win them this way. I'd rather be out there like Steve and I were at first lap, but
right.
Breaks to the game and things like that happen, and we just wish Steve the best. And
well, we have had delays from the very, very beginning, and then the accident with Steve, and then, of course, the weather, the horrible storm coming in. I guess we all got to remember that the sun comes up every day, so we'll go on from here and go on through the 87 circuit. Okay, Jim?
That's right. We'll keep trying.
Okay. I'm Don Poyer. Thanks to Jim Hendrick for helping out today, as he always does and does very well. And we will see you again. Thanks for joining us. Columbia Crest Winery presents the 1987 Unlimited Hydroplane Series. Brought to you by Ford. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Household Finance Corporation, America's #1 financial services company. And by U-Haul International. Rent it all at U-Haul Centers.